What's been the biggest improvement you guys have seen since official practice started a couple weeks ago?
I would just say depth at every position. You always, after year 1 or year 10, you just always want to improve, recruit over the year prior. And I wouldn't say in the sense of we recruited over the kids that we had, but we just added more depth, more versatility. So I would say in that area.
Brooke obviously won WAC Player of the Year last year, and if you look at her game, there's not a lot of holes. But how can she take the next step this year for the team?
I mean, in the leadership aspect, she's always just done it. Now she can be more vocal, and she's taken a big step. You hear her voice. I think there's areas on the floor that she can improve. She was on the all-defensive team, but where, she just gets to the right position and maybe doesn't try to block it and get a foul. As valuable as she is, her being on the floor, not getting in foul trouble, picking, so that's just a growth in her game, realizing when she should just be in position or go for the block. And that's just maturity. And she's doing that.
What's kind of the biggest change from last year, maybe like what you guys kind of worked on in the offseason? Now you're ending your second year here at MSU.
I think anytime you get a job in this, you're just getting through day by day, putting your head down and working. And so having gone through it a year, you know where you're going to play at every gym that's in the WAC. And then taking that step with last year's team to this year's team, having a chip on our shoulder from how we ended, in the tournament. That's been our big motivator, playing, being consistent from start to finish.
Once that first game begins, are you guys going to use that motivation from how last season ended? Like, are you going to use it through the entire season, or is that something as soon as the first game begins, it's in the rearview mirror?
I think that's how you do get beat. If you keep it consistent, if you keep that, you have to play the next play. Everything is, we said the other day, like, you have to have a memory like a goldfish, in the sense you make a mistake, you got to play the next play. But understand that that's why you play the game. Every time you step up, you're going to be the circle on someone's schedule. You've won the WAC 4 years in a row. You have to have your best every single time.
Obviously, the two main players on the team are Gia Pack and Brooke Salas. But who are a couple other players that you expect to step up this year behind them to have a more increased role for the team?
I've seen a lot of growth overall with all of our kids, from freshmen to sophomores. The twins, Monique and Dominique, they play a good role for us. Mo obviously played a lot last year, and she just continues to grow in her role. And her sister is a little bit, in the sense, opposite, but they fill holes and they play roles. We added a lot at the 5 position with Nana Sule and Nike, Adarento. So we have some growth from there, and then we graduated our point guards last year. So we have 3 point guards. We have a junior college point guard with Rodria Eccles, and then we have Pam Wilmore, who was here last year but kind of played behind the 2 seniors, and then we have a freshman. So across the board, we have a lot more depth, but we do have 3 point guards that are going to take it. They're learning, through mistakes, through success. So when you had a senior point guard last year, and now you have 3, basically new ones, you're going to flip a coin and go with 1, 2, or 3.
What do you think will be obvious in the change when you take the court for your first game from last season? What do you think people will see that'll be something that's different?
I think last year, we were just, in the sense, not searching for an identity, but everything was new for us, for the young ladies, and I think it's just a sense of comfort, knowing each other, but then, just that edge, that chip on their shoulder. We have some challenges, and I won't necessarily give everything, but we have some challenges where we had 3 kids with 3 waivers, and so there'll be some later additions, which is great. So that's just, you're always building that chemistry. You're all, so I think from the jump we have a very, very tough schedule. So that'll be, we just have to take every challenge on the right way and just compete every possession.
Have you started looking at Permian Basin at all, Coach?
Yeah, they're just a tough, scrappy team. We played them here last year, so we know that they're going to play hard. They'll run their system very well. We just make it more about us, what we do offensively, defensively. Every game is is the Super Bowl. You know, the most important game is that next one on the schedule. And then obviously, you know, we go to Western Michigan, who returns 70% of their scoring.
How meaningful is the target on your back? And is it something you push back saying, won't let that bother us, we'll play our game, we know what we're capable of, we know what we can grow into?
I think, you know, yeah, that's been set. You know, we're going to get everybody's best, but what matters is what we can control. You know, we have to put our blinders on, and it's about getting better every day in practice. You know, I think that's kind of what we've talked about is that's great, but what matters is what happens in our gym. You know, are we getting better defensively, offensively? You know, all we can control, and that's us. It's our 15 in that circle. It's our energy, our effort, and that's their focus. You know, I can control me, and everything else is kind of, you know, you just got to go with it.